Yo, what's going on, everybody? You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title, and today I want to talk about my thoughts on Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. My thoughts on, the community either saying the game's going to be completely garbage or completely amazing, what I think about all of that stuff, and just a bunch of things because I am finally back home. I am severely sunburned, and instead of making 92 videos covering every single leak that's gone on, I kind of just want to talk about what I think of what we've heard from the leaks, at least so far, and what I think the game's going to be like. So with that being said, I couldn't obviously fit all that into a title, so let's get into the video, guys. Alright, so I want to start off with some good news, and the first part of good news, and this is the leak that a lot of people have been covering, is that we are going to have 16 6v6 maps at launch, which is actually pretty insane, considering the recent games have been roughly 8 to 10 maps at launch, and obviously have been kind of lacking dry in content. Now originally this was 24 maps have been ready to go, which obviously I didn't expect 24 maps at launch. If 24 maps came at launch, that would be absolutely insane and would probably blow all of Call of Duty's competition completely out of the water, but then they would have to obviously go in and make extra maps while trying to work on balance, while trying to work on, glitches and bugs and everything that happens when you release a new game. Like, every time you release a new game, there's going to be balance issues, there's going to be bugs, there's going to be glitches, there's going to be a world of problems that they obviously have to work on, and they don't want to have to work on that while also working on maps at the same time. So, 16 maps, which was originally 24, is still pretty good. And 16 6v6 at that, it seems like they're actually going to be focusing on 6v6 maps. And then there's also 4 specialty maps, apparently, which is going to be some kind of like mini battle royale, similar to Fire Team type thing. So all of this looks really good, right? 16 maps on launch, plus 4 specialty maps with a new kind of mini battle royale type of game mode. Probably something similar to Fire Team. Looks really, really good. But the thing that I'm concerned about is the gameplay, because for you guys who've watched my channel, you know I like Black Ops 4. Now, Black Ops 4 did not launch with a lot of maps. Black Ops 4 launched with very little content, but I absolutely loved Black Ops 4. It's one of my favorite Call of Duty games. It's top 5 for me, and I know that's extremely controversial, but I liked Black Ops 4 despite its lack of content because I really enjoyed its gameplay. Now, Vanguard with 16 maps, even if I don't enjoy the gameplay, is going to keep me more engaged, but if the gameplay is something similar to that of COD World War II with 16 maps on launch, the game could actually probably keep me engaged for a long amount of time. But the other thing that I'm worried about is the quality of these maps. Are these going to be 16 maps that are just not that great? Or are they going to be 16 really good maps? Or are we going to have like 15 Piccadillys and one, I don't know, what's a good map? Terminal, right? Are we going to have something like that, right? Are we going to have 15 terrible maps and one really good map? Or are they going to be 16 mediocre maps? Or are they going to be 16 bad maps? Because the quality of these maps really, really matters. For example, I'm going to bring up Black Ops 4 again. I thought the maps that launched with Black Ops 4, there's not a single map I hate. Every single launch map on Black Ops 4, I like playing on. Okay? So, other than Jungle Flooded, actually, I like every single Black Ops 4 map aside from Jungle Flooded. So, we're looking at quality over quantity here. You can have 16 maps, but if those 16 maps are, say, Piccadilly, Stonehaven, and Aftermath from Black Ops 2, and, there are a bunch of big, clunky, bad, flowy maps, there are a bunch of Modern Warfare 2019 maps, then it's not going to be good. I don't care how many maps you have if the maps are bad, but I'm not necessarily saying that the game is going to be bad. It's the fact that 16 maps, while a lot of people are thinking it's either really, really good and are hyping this up, seem to realize that they could be 16 very, very terrible maps. However, they could also be 16 absolutely amazing maps. Instant classic, 16 just incredible maps, right? We could see that at launch. Or we could see half of them be really, really good and half of them be average, which is an amazing outcome if that happens. So I feel like the people who are overhyping this game are kind of delusional in a way. They think 16 maps immediately means great game, but they fail to realize those could be 16 garbage maps. But on the flip side of that coin, there's the people who are immediately writing off the game as completely garbage and saying it's going to be the worst Call of Duty game ever made before they've seen any of the maps, any of the guns. Actually, we've seen a few guns, but before they've seen any of the maps, any of the gameplay, any of anything, and they're immediately being like, it's going to be the worst COD game ever made. Like, at the same time, those people are kind of crazy, Now, while they're saying, oh, skill-based matchmaking is going to be ruining the game, which obviously Super Circu's skill-based matchmaking is definitely a concern, most likely being a thing in the game, like, we can say pretty much with full confidence, we are going to have skill-based matchmaking. Now, how strict this is going to be, we don't know, because games like Splitgate, for example, said that they want a loose skill-based matchmaking. X-Defiant has absolutely no skill-based matchmaking, at least in its early test. Battlefield 2042 most likely is not going to have much skill-based matchmaking, but instead is going to have team balancing and also some bots thrown in there to make sure that the lobby is always full, right? So maybe when you're newer at Battlefield 2042, you might get some bot games at the beginning and the game's not even going to tell you that. But things like that, right? We've seen other competition doing their take on skill-based matchmaking, so maybe if those games are extremely successful, Activision might either lessen their skill-based matchmaking or be more open about how it actually works. Because right now we know it's based off of movements, routes you take, guns you use, what store bundles you buy. It's based off of 1,000,001 different things here, and 1,000,001 different patents, and 1,000,000 different things of testing, score per minutes, KDs, 104 different things, right? And Activision is obviously clearly not completely open because nobody really has an exact idea of how skill-based matchmaking works. The only thing that we do know for sure is that better players get higher pings. That's the number one thing that we know for sure. And we also know that better players also play better players and worse players play worse players, obviously. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say with this video is don't immediately write off the game as it's going to be the worst Call of Duty game of all time. I understand some people's channels rely on them, immediately saying the game's going to be completely terrible. It's going to be the worst Call of Duty ever made, blah, 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 blah. And I understand if that's what your channel's based on, sure, do it. Whatever. But don't take people's word for it being the worst Call of Duty game ever made who have never played the game. We have not seen gameplay, we have not seen maps, we have not seen anything of the game yet. I think, actually, there might have been some leaked gameplay. I'm not 100% sure. But we haven't seen a lot of the game yet, so don't immediately write it off as completely horrible. But don't expect the best Call of Duty game ever made to come out of World War II Vanguard, alright? That's what I'm saying at the end of the day. Wait until you played the game and form your own opinions. Don't immediately think it's going to be garbage. Don't expect it to be amazing. Just play the game, see what happens, right? I mean, the alpha's most likely going to be free anyways, so, you have really no reason to not try out the game. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, turn on post notifications. Feel free to join my Discord down below, follow me on Twitter, stuff like that. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.